All right, welcome everyone. I'd like to call to order the December 5th, 2024 regular governing board meeting with executive session. It is now, where is the time? 5:03, thank you. I could not find the time. The board members present here in the boardroom is board member Lydia Hernandez, board member Denise Garcia, Vice President Marissa Hernandez, and myself, Anna Lena Bethia, and then on the call we have board member Rosa Gantu. On to item 2, Pledge of Allegiance by Estrella Middle School, College, and Career Prep Scholars video.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to Estrella. On to item 3, Introduction of Representatives. We have our CEA representative, Betsy Bryan, the Vice President. CEA representative, Mary T. Rodriguez. And the Parent Advisory Council representative, Aide Flores, also President. Thank you for being here tonight, representing your guys' groups. On to item 4, the land acknowledgement. The Cartwright School District is located on the ancestral homelands of the Hohokam, Akamo, Otham Jewett people, ancestors of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, or SRP-MIC. We acknowledge the rich oral history, culture of these communities and their ancestral ties to the land.
Madam President, I move that we approve the agenda as presented, with the exception of the following items. G, 8, it's the following item. Item G, H, I, which are respectively executive session. The governing board may go into executive session, which will not be open to the public, under ARS 38-431-03 for discussion and or consideration of the current superintendent and or incoming superintendent's contractual terms or terms of employment. Item H, specifically resumption regarding the consideration of the current superintendent terms of employment, which is a vote, and 2, consideration of the deputy superintendent's current terms of employment. And item I, consent agenda items, which specifically, not all, but any items having to do with employment and or business contractual terms for 25-26, specifically being item, let's say 10, 11, 12, 13, but it's all under the agenda, so it's the approval of the agenda. So 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and G, which includes all of the above. Action items under H, 1 and 2. Doing away with some of the policy readings, procedure, and 2, Copper State safe and employment. Those are the items. So that's the motion.
Okay.
I second that motion, Ms. Hernandez. Madam President, I second that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion by board member Lydia Hernandez and a second by board member Rosa Gantu. We'll do a roll call vote. Board member Gantu, how do you vote?
I vote nay.
For clarification, Ms. Cantu, we're voting on my motion.
Oh, I'm voting. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I vote aye.
Did you make a mistake? Oh, goodness. I cannot believe that. Next.
Board member Hernandez, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Board member Garcia, how do you vote?
This is to exclude.
It's to change it's to change the entire agenda.
Do you agree with what Ms. Hernandez wants to do, and a nay if you do not?
Okay, I vote nay.
Board member Hernandez or Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
Thank you, Madam President. I vote nay.
Thank you. I vote nay as well, and the motion carries.
Does not carry.
Sorry, does not carry.
Secondly, I'd like to make a motion for approval of tonight's agenda as presented at the Cartwright Elementary School District Governing Board meeting of Thursday, December 5th. Thank you.
Thank you. I will second that motion. We have a motion by Vice President Hernandez and a motion second by myself. We'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Board Member Cantu, how do you vote?
I vote nay.
Thank you. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Madam President, if I may explain my vote.
Go ahead.
The reasoning behind not supporting the items, the following items on those agenda, because they are related to having the current board vote on contractual employment contracts. I mean, for staff for 25 school year 25-26 by the current board that obviously after November 4th was not supported by the community. So this is a process that includes or should include and be open to the incoming new board members to weigh in on as they receive the support of their community members to be elected into office, and thus their fiduciary responsibility, which is our same fiduciary responsibility, to the well-being of the district in terms of management, all aspects of the school district, especially financial obligations, which since the month of October, we've been voting on and jam-packing our agendas with items pertaining to those, making decisions thus for the new board, thus tying their hands moving forward all year. I don't understand what the rush is and why not to include the incoming new board members. And with that, I vote nay.
All right. Board Member Garcia, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
Thank you, Madam President. I vote aye as well. And Lydia, that's a crock of crap.
Thank you for your professionalism.
Of course, always.
Madam President, may I explain my vote? Usually during
Board Member
during the
Cantu,
month of
Ms.
I will
Cantu, you're
explain
out
my
of
vote,
order.
Madam President. If you're not,
You're
you
out of
had the
order, Ms.
opportunity
Cantu.
to explain your vote when it was your time to vote. We are moving on to other board members now. Thank you. I'm gonna refrain from my comments and my explanation of the vote. I don't have nicer things to say, so I'm just gonna keep it to myself. And I vote aye, and the motion carries. We are moving on to item number 6. Thank you. Raul H. Castro Middle School Academy of Fine Arts Scholar Choir Performance, presented by Mr. Marco Reese.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Dr.
I'm
Aguilar.
sorry, sorry, give me 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Board Member Hernandez, can you please turn off your mic? Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Aguilar Lawler, Madam President Abetia, governing board members, and our Cartwright community. It is my pleasure to introduce the Raul Castro Fine Arts Academy Choir under the direction of the choir director and teacher, Brianna Little. This remarkable ensemble recently showcased their extraordinary musical talents at the Honor Choir at the Greater Phoenix Choir Festival. This evening, we are proud to present this choir as a testament to our district's commitment to fostering excellence in the arts. We would like to thank Principal Teresa Trujillo for her vision and leadership in supporting the fine arts at Castro, and to Ms. Little for fostering the talents of our scholars. Please enjoy their performance.
In December, when the nights are growing cold, in December we remember our traditions new and old. Light a candle in the window, light a candle, watch it glow. In the dark of the night, a flame burning bright reminds us of long ago. In December, hear the music choir sing. In December, we remember the joy that love candle in the window. Light a candle, watch it glow. In the dark of the night, a flame burning bright reminds us of long ago. In December, when the nights are growing cold. In December, we remember traditions new and old. In December, this December, celebrate with peace and love. The fireplace is burning bright, shining all on me. I see the presents underneath the good old Christmas tree. And I'll wait all night till Santa comes to wake me from my dreams. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I see the children play outside like angels in the snow, while Mom and Daddy share a kiss under the mistletoe. And we'll cherish all these simple things wherever we may be. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging all the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I listen for the thud of reindeer walking on the roof. As I fall asleep to lullabies, the morning's coming soon. The only gift I'll ever need is the joy of family. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging all the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. And then for years to come, we'll always know one thing. That's the love that Christmas can bring. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. We have some parents. Do we have some parents in the room of our scholars that just came? Could you stand up? Can you guys stand up so we can recognize the parents in the room? Go ahead, stand up. Yeah. Thank you for allowing your kids to come here tonight. That was amazing. And the band geek in me is just screaming right now. So, all right. Where were we at? Because now we're going to take a 5-minute break. There we go. Item D,
5-minute break.
Yes.
So that the parents and
Yes.
children can-
We're going to take that 5-minute break to allow our choir members to depart and from the performance, and so the parents we can go out there and see the kiddos. All right. It is 5:18, and we will reconvene in 5 minutes. There are cookies for y'all to take, so please take some. Otherwise, they're gonna come home with me, and we don't need all the cookies. Oops, sorry. All right. Sorry, y'all. I forgot to keep track of time. All right. It is now, I do not have a clock in front of me. It is now 5:26, and we are resuming the board meeting, a regular meeting. We are on to item E, resumption of opening items. Item number 1, the Cartwright School District. Number 3, award of excellence to Masabi Pereira Montes de Oca, Community Organizing Director of Chispa, Arizona, presented by Mr. Victor Hugo Rodriguez. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
You did, Masai.
Did it? Okay.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, governing board members, executive team, and those in the audience and on YouTube. This month's Word of Excellence goes to Mr. Masabi Perea Montes de Oca. He earns this award for his hard work and dedication for improving lives through education and helping our community. Mr. Perea has achieved something remarkable by uniting unlimited potential researchers from ASU, School for the Future of Innovation and Society, and families from the Cartwright School District. Together, they had been dedicated to amplifying community voices and building brighter and more sustainable future for Maryville. Mr. Perea's creative ideas for fighting climate change with local community-driven solutions have led to something very powerful and some powerful events here in the community. These events led for people to share ideas and help make changes to lower our carbon footprint. Organizations like Chispa and Unlimited Potential have also played an important role. They had been inviting local residents, including parents from our district, to the CSD Community Garden to discuss ways to make Maryville more sustainable. Thanks to funding from SFIS, participants received $25 gift cards, a meal from local chefs while working on solutions. Even better, many parents and students are stepping up to share their ideas for reducing carbon emissions and taking real action with the help of Chispa, Unlimited Potential, and SFIS. So we're very thankful to Mr. Masabi Perea for leading these efforts. So his passion for working with community is really making a real difference in Maryville. So congratulations, Mr. Perea, on this well-deserved award.
Thank you. Gracias. Thank you, Victor Hugo. Hello, good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos, todes. I think what it comes to my mind is that Cartwright is an example for the community. Cartwright has been and is making a difference in the community and have shown the environmental justice has a sense of urgency. Cartwright, it was the first school on the state to have an electric bus, thanks to you all. And what I like to be on this meeting and to hear the land acknowledgement, again, like making a history. Thank you for that. Thank you in behalf of my ancestors, our ancestors. So thank you for the trust. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. Thank you, Andrea. Everyone who has been believing in Chispa and Unlimited Potential, I think we all together, we can make a difference. As you may know, the next 4 years is going to be hard for our community, right? It's going to be, I can imagine how the parents, teachers are handling what is coming, but I know that with people like you all, we are going to make a difference, and we are going to tell the parents and kids that everything is okay because this is a community. Thank you for thinking in Chispa. Thank you for thinking in me, Victor Hugo, and I'm here to continue working with you all. Thank you.
We're going to take a group picture. If we can ask the board members and Dr. Aguilar Lawler if you can join us.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There she is. Oh, sorry.
Just waiting on you.
You want to be in
No, I want you in the middle. You're the guest of honor. You're right here, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I put it back there?
Yes.
Nobody sees it?
Yes.
Yes, of course I can.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
While we wait for everybody, I just want to give a huge shout out for Chispa. It was one of the first things coming in as a board member that the district was working on was the electric bus. So that's weird full circle to get brought up now. But, you know, Chispa's been out here in the community doing the work. And so I just want to thank the organization and all of y'all for doing what you do. On to item number 2, the Cartwright School.
Madam President, can I have a question with Mr. Perea Montes de Oca, please?
Yeah, he's still here. Sorry, you caught him walking out the room. Our board member online would like to ask you a question. Yeah. Sorry, board member Cantu, he's walking up to the podium here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Montes de Oca, I really want to appreciate you showing up to our meeting. And it's very interesting to me that we have people working with our community out there, really representing community. But you mentioned something about 4 difficult years coming up. What are you referring to?
Was the new president?
Oh, okay.
About the federal
And
election.
you understand?
That's,
Okay. So are you here with your organization, which is a 503c, I believe, right?
no,
Or are you in a political?
Chispa Arizona is a 501c3, 501c4, and we have our own PAC. Chispa
Okay.
is
So you're here as a political action.
No, it's not a political action, man. It's my heart who's talking. And,
Okay.
and the only thing that comes to my mind is to say que viva la educación pública, because as a human, as a parent, I know that public education is going to be affected, and many of our parents, many of my
It's being
family.
affected. It's being affected, Mr. Montes de Oca. It's being affected. You understand what is the percentage of learning in our district?
I'm sorry, say that again?
30%. We are 13. It's being affected, and you just realize that. That was my statement.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I mean,
for
absolutely,
coming up.
it's been affected, man. But
Hey, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can go ahead. Yes, we're gonna go ahead and end that conversation.
Yes, Madam President, you make the decision when people start talking because we
No,
talk
No,
back.
but we're not
that
gonna
was
we're not
very
gonna attack
disrespectful.
people. No.
Ms. Cantu. Thank you.
Yeah. On to item number 2, the Cartwright School District number 3 Award of Excellence video to Dallas Pastrano, 9th grade student from Maryville High School, also presented by Mr. Victor Hugo Rodriguez.
Good evening again, Madam President, Dr. Aguilar Lauder, governing board members, executive team, and those in the audience and on YouTube. This morning, we had the honor of celebrating a true hero, Dallas Pastrano, a remarkable student from Maryville High School. A few weeks ago, one of our eighth graders was hit by a car, but Dallas stayed with them the whole time until the ambulance arrived. Thanks to Dallas and our amazing bus driver who called 911 right away, our eighth grader is safe and is now back in class. So today we gave Dallas the Cartwright Award of Excellence to thank him for his kindness and courage. So please enjoy this video produced by our multimedia journalist, Jacqueline Lopez.
This story is about courage and doing what's right.
So about 2 weeks ago, we had, as a principal, what would be one of my worst nightmares. I got a phone call that one of my scholars was hit by a vehicle on his walk to school.
Dallas Pastrano, a student at Maryville High School, witnessed the accident, and he stayed by the student's side, offering help and support until responders arrived.
He acted really brave. He didn't move. He just stayed there and looked what was going on.
Dallas was honored with the Cartwright Award of Excellence by the district's executive team for his quick thinking and heroic actions in a life or death situation.
And so he deserves this amazing recognition because of his heroism.
His actions perfectly embody what community and heroism are all about.
Not everybody would have stayed there to make sure that he was okay and taken care of.
Dallas' courage and kindness in the face of danger are a shining example of the strength and compassion we have in our community. He is the kind of hero who steps up when it matters the most.
What an incredible and amazing young man. It takes someone with a true heart and humanity to stop and help someone else, regardless of what is happening at the time.
You get the phone call, as Principal Alley said, it's the first thing that comes to your mind is our scholar going to be okay? And immediately was told about another hero that's standing here with me who called 911 immediately, and just all the care and support without any thought to take care of our kids. And this is why I love working here, and I really appreciate you so much. And your director, Mr. Alex, couldn't say enough wonderful things about you and your diligence, and because of you, I know that our young man is safe, and I know that Dallas really touched you, and I know you're always going to remember him.
We are so proud of Dallas for his courage and selflessness. It is moments like this that remind us how important it is to support each other.
It's just really important that all of our scholars know that we need to look out for each other and help each other when we see someone in need. And he displayed that day by being a hero for our student in our district. So we're very, very proud of Dallas.
Dallas' actions remind us that heroes can come from anywhere, and sometimes they're sitting right next to you in class.
Thank you to Dallas for that. Yeah, I don't have words. Thank you, Board Member Garcia, for going out there and spending time with them during that video and to receive the award. I'm glad we had representation there. So thank you. On to
Madam President, can I have a word with the gentleman, Dallas?
He's not here.
Oh, he's not there.
No.
I just wanted to make sure, is he Dallas Pastrana or Pastranos?
Pastrano. It's with an O.
Pastrano is okay. Thank you.
All right. On to item F, call to the public. We do have 2 calls to the public. Consideration and possible discussion of comments and complaints from the public. The governing board will not take any legal action on matters raised during this portion of the meeting unless the comments and complaints pertain to items included on the agenda. The governing board president will set applicable time limits based on the number of public comments received. Up to 3-minute time limit is set, and all are asked to adhere to this limit. The governing board may direct staff to study matters raised by the public or to reschedule those matters for future consideration, discussion, and possible actions at a later date. Our first call to the public is Mrs. Patricia Lopez.
One? Okay, yeah? All right. Good afternoon, President Abetia, Governing Board, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, Executive Team, and all those in attendance. Since this is my last board meeting as an employee of the district, I would like to share a few thoughts with all of you. I would like to thank you, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, for your work in our district as a superintendent. In the last 6 years, you have been our leader. You have been able to transform our schools by raising the standards of what is acceptable. For example, under your leadership, our scholars now have new furniture in their classrooms. 2 schools have new gyms, restrooms have been renovated, and cafeterias have been remodeled. Our employees have a child care center, and we don't have to worry about where our kids are and if they're safe or not. Under your leadership, you have supported an inclusionary model for scholars with disabilities. The list can go on, but like I said, I have to really limit myself right now. Next, I want to commend the board on the hiring of Ms. Emma Howdegee as Cartwright's future superintendent. I have known Emma for more than 20 years. I met her when she was a math teacher at Estrella Middle School. As a teacher, she demonstrated going above and beyond for her students by getting to know them as a person and doing her best to support their academic and emotional needs. She has carried this hard work, dedication, and belief that all kids can learn at high levels if given the opportunity into her current work. She is a person of high integrity and the right person to be in the seat. I am so happy for you and for the Cartwright School District. I would like to thank our teachers, and I have met so many great teachers in the 22 or 3 years that I've been here, for their work and dedication for our scholars. We have great teachers and support staff, and we should continue to recognize them every chance we get because they need to know that they are valued, and we can't do this work without them. I'd like to thank the district administration, district office staff, food services, transportation, buildings, and operations for your work behind the scenes so that the schools can run effectively and the principals can do their job. You are the unsung heroes of the Cartwright School District, but I see you and I thank you. The principals, the keepers of the flame, and our school's torch holders. As Eva Stevens once told me, it's not about the principal, but it's all about the principal. They set the tone for the school. They define how business is done and monitor everything to ensure it gets done effectively. They hold people accountable for student growth and proficiency. Principals stay after school, arrive early, have evening and weekend functions, and have one of the toughest jobs I ever had. They're the mayors of their own cities, ensuring high expectations are practiced on a daily basis across the board in learning and in how the school is run. Each one of our principals is here for the right reason, our kids. They are super smart, superheroes, and it's been my privilege to work with all of you. Lastly, I want to thank the governing board. This is a thankless job. You don't get paid. You're expected to make decisions based on what you believe is right. And I want you to know that your efforts are recognized and greatly appreciated. I am grateful for the Cartwright School District and the opportunities given to me. I can think of no better place to end my 39-year career in education other than Cartwright School District. I look forward to the new chapter in my life. I wish only success, health, and happiness for each and every one of you. Thank you.
It's hard not to comment on that one. All right, so on. All right, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Our second call to the public, Ms. Cecilia Moreno. It looks like the mic's already on for you there. So
Good evening, board members, Dr. Lawler, administrators, teachers, staff, and principals. Once again, I come to the board. I don't have a prepared statement. I just want to reiterate what I said last month regarding the conflict of interest on school board members being related. I have talked to the Arizona School Board Association, and they tell me that a lawyer is required, but I don't know that the district has the money for a lawyer, but it is a concern of mine. All residents should be concerned, all voters should be concerned, parents should be concerned that there's a conflict of interest when two people on the board are related. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
thank you. All right. On to item G, executive session. The governing board may vote to go into executive session, which will not be open to the public pursuant to ARS 38-431.03 A1 for discussion and or consideration of the current superintendent's and or incoming superintendent's contractual terms or terms of employment. I would like to make a motion to vote to go into executive session, which will not be open to the public pursuant to ARS 38-431.03 A1 for discussion and or discussion consideration of the current superintendent's and or incoming superintendent's contractual terms for terms of employment. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion.
Thank you. I have a motion by myself and a second by Vice President Hernandez. Board Member Cantu, how do you vote?
Well, before we go into executive session, Madam President, I would like to know why are we bringing this item to the agenda today?
There are things that we need to discuss, and we need to go into executive session to discuss them. I'm not going to discuss them out here.
But I remember that we just had an executive session to do what we needed to do with her contract. So why are we bringing back that contract? That's my question.
I have a counter question. Why didn't you ask your question prior to the meeting?
I'm not asking you,
The other
Mrs.
reason that we're
Hernandez.
going
Yeah,
into
the
executive
question-
session is because your motion or Ms. Hernandez's motion failed at the beginning of the
Point of
meeting.
order.
So now we're going to
Madam
vote
President,
to go
I
into
believe
the
Ms.
executive
Cantu has
session.
the floor.
So
right? She asked the question.
I answered.
There's no response.
That was the response.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
It is for the president.
I already answered the question. How I'm going to answer the question. So how do you vote, Board Member Cantu?
I vote nay.
Thank you. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
If I may explain my vote.
Go ahead.
Madam President, first of all, I think out of courtesy and process, parliamentary procedure process, when somebody asks a question, it's meant to the board. I mean, to the board president. And I
answered the question.
I also have a question. I already did this.
Okay, so then you can tell us how you vote, or you don't have to participate in executive session if you don't want to.
Why do we have to review this again?
We can discuss that in executive session. So how do you vote?
So you're not able to share why
I'm
this
not
item
sharing
is on
that
the
here
agenda?
on the dais. No. So you can go on with your vote.
I will pass.
Board Member Garcia, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
Thank you. I vote aye.
Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Madam, I guess
are
they
you
come
gonna-
back to me.
Yeah.
So, just so I want to make sure I understand why we're going to executive session. It is clear on this agenda. However, I may be off. I was off last time. So this is for discussion and or consideration of the current superintendent. That's meaning Dr. Lawler, or incoming superintendent's contract, meaning Emma Harigi. Contractual terms or terms of employment. So two individuals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So how do you vote?
With that, I vote aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. We are now going into executive session. Oh, and it is 5:50. Thank you, because I don't have my clock. Good. All right. All right. We are back in regular session. It is 6:53. And we are on to item H, resumption of regular meeting. Number 1. Consideration of the current superintendent terms of employment. I would like to make a motion for approval to accept the current superintendent resignation of employment effective December 12th, 2024, pursuant to the terms of a negotiated separation and release agreement discussed in executive session, and approval to authorize the governing board president to sign the separation and release agreement on behalf of the district and board. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion.
Thank you. Board Member Cantu, how do you vote? Is she there? Board Member Cantu, we can't hear you. All right, we'll come back. They said she's here. We'll come back to her as we try to get her back online. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
I will pass.
Board Member Garcia, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
I vote aye. Thank you.
Oh, Board Member Cantu, how do you vote? Or wait, hold on, sorry. Board Member Cantu, we are on item H. We just made a motion. Should I repeat the motion for her? Yeah, okay. So we just approved a motion to accept the current superintendent resignation of employment effective December 12th, 2024, pursuant to the terms of the negotiated separation and release agreement discussed in executive session, and approval to authorize the governing board president to sign the separation and release agreement on behalf of the district and board. So how do you vote? Board Member Cantu?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
We're trying to get your vote here, Board Member Cantu.
Okay. I was waiting for a long time to be
Okay,
reconnected to the call. But anyway, my vote is nay.
Okay.
And I will say because I was not informed properly of what was discussed, and also they cut my call when it was time to vote. So thank you. I say nay.
Okay. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote? You passed, right? Wanted us to come back to you.
And Madam President, if I may explain my vote.
Go ahead.
Over the last, especially the last couple of years, our district has suffered greatly in academic achievement, and I understand there's a lot of things that are coming at us, especially coming with COVID, a raise in the numbers of ADHD, autism, services needed, mental health, behavioral issues, all a combination. I understand that. But over the last couple of years, I felt the changes up here at the dais. We've had maybe four that I can recall, four different persons holding positions of assistant superintendent, deputy superintendent, district level positions at the district level. I mean, with such turnover, and I understand the dynamics each time. Each time having directors at the district office level sharing roles, which was confusing. And throughout the many years, I've been public about my questions and the resumes and why such movement taking place. And yet, once again, we were faced with having two superintendents and an assistant deputy superintendent. Keeping clarity, I didn't know who we were discussing. Okay, the district has 13% of its population of children of our scholars that are able to read and write and do math at their own grade level. I want to celebrate the 100 that are excelling. My challenge to me is how do we get to for every scholar to arrive at the same? And today's item on the agenda, which is why I came in wanting to table this conversation, is because it's important. It's a very important position for the future of Cartwright. And that means that we have to ensure, let me just cut to the point. I just don't see why it's such an emergency to hire staff, change all kinds of level positions yet again, knowing where we're at. I mean, we can't go anywhere else at this point but up. But also at the same time, making decisions for new board members that obviously got the support from their community. So we're making decisions a year in advance, telling the board, the current board,
but we're not
or
even
the
talking
incoming
about
board.
that stuff right now. We're talking about
This
the
is the
separation of
same
release agreement for the superintendent.
As I've got the floor. I'm not done explaining my vote.
Well, you're not even on topic here,
Yes, I am. So we are board members, and we don't have individual powers here. We only have shared powers or power when we are together voting on the item at hand. So I am explaining why it is that I'm voting the way I am. So it's been extremely frustrating for me to see.
It's very frustrating on
the
this
change,
side too, Board Member Hernandez.
The change. I think our public deserves to know why we are where we are academically, and it happens for a reason. And the fact that we didn't have a strategic plan for many years. This is strictly relative to the item at hand that we're voting on. Very relative to the item at hand.
Mrs. Hernandez?
Do you want me to clarify?
I commend you for your, no, I commend you for expressing your concerns about our community and the children in our district. But as you heard them, they can do whatever they want.
Ms. Cantu, only because I have the floor, it's very relative to explain my vote. I'm going to cut it and say,
and I understand.
I think with all the changes that we see, even in the current consent agenda, the consent items are items that we are able to read and question, but the public doesn't. So I've always been an advocate for transparency. With that, I vote nay.
Thank you. Board Member Garcia,
Thank
how
you,
do
Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you.
Madam President, I vote aye.
Thank you. Or did we already come down this way? We did come down this way. Thank you. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. All right, on to item 2, consideration of the Deputy Superintendent's current terms of employment for the 24-2025 school year. I would like to make a motion of approval to modify the Deputy Superintendent's current terms of employment for the 24-25 school year pursuant to the terms discussed in executive session, including an additional compensation in the amount of $20,000 as a stipend to the current year contract, and modifying current year contract duties to include acting as an interim superintendent and reporting directly to the board president and governing board effective December 13th, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion by myself and a second by Vice President Hernandez. Board Member Cantu, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Madam President, just to clarify, so the Assistant Superintendent or Deputy Superintendent, we're speaking of Emma Hottie?
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was already active in that role. She was not. I'm asking.
In what role exactly? What are you asking?
What you're announcing. She's going to be, we're voting on
interim.
We're serving as interim assistant superintendent, or what is it correct? What is it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Stratman.
Yes, I apologize if I did not catch the vote or if you misspoke, but what was discussed in executive session is that she would assume duties as interim superintendent for the
Yes.
balance of the school year.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Was that, excuse me, Madam President, was that discussed in the executive session?
Board member. Yeah, but remember, Cantu, you were there and you already voted. I'm not going to discuss what happened in executive session.
I was not there. They cut me off. I
We
didn't
were
have
done
access.
with the
That's what I'm
meeting.
asking.
We came out to regular session. What do you mean?
I understand that. I understand
Board
that,
member
and that's what
Cantu,
I'm
we are not
saying.
going to discuss what happened in executive session. You were there. I was there. We're not going to discuss it. Oh, it looks like she's gone. Board member, sounds like that was her who cut herself off. It is 7:04. Board member Rosa Cantu has left the meeting. Where were we? Board member Hernandez, how do you vote?
This is extremely concerning for me. I know because I've been on the receiving end where I've been cut off and I'm told that I'm not. But nonetheless.
We're not going to talk about that. Can we just move on to your vote, please?
So thank you for the clarification. I want to make sure, but I thought that she was already acting in that role, so I'm still confused. But with that, I vote nay.
Thank you. Board member Garcia, how do you vote?
Madam President, I vote aye.
Thank you. Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
I vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I vote as well, and the motion carries. Thank you. On to item I, consent agenda. Our adopted rules of parliamentary procedure provide for a consent agenda listing several items for approval of the board by a single motion. Items listed under the consent agenda have gone through a review and recommendation process. Documentation concerning these items has been provided to all board members and the public in advance to assure an extensive and thorough review. Items may be removed from the consent agenda and placed as an action item for further discussion at the request of any board member with a majority vote. Dr. Lawler.
Thank you, Board President, members of the Governing Board, Executive Leadership Team, principals, and all in attendance today. The administration recommends approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to adopt the December 25th, 2024 consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Board member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Madam President, I have a question regarding item number 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. A simple one of might cover 4 of them. And those are 7, the approval to increase annual expenditure amount authorization for proximity learning. Can somebody tell me why we're increasing the annual expenditure?
Go ahead.
Good evening. Okay. Good evening, Madam President, members of the Governing Board, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, members of the executive team, and everyone in attendance. This is contracting teachers. I believe it is written in the rationale. We are outsourcing some music teachers that provide synchronous instruction virtually. So this is something that HR had requested, so we can fill 2 vacant teacher positions.
Is there a reason why it needs fiscally sound? Does it need to be approved before January?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, this is to carry forward what we had approved for our grant through the Arizona Preservation Grant that was approved on April 29th. So this is the next step in the process to actually bring a general contractor aboard to execute the upgrades to the facility for converting it into a public space, a museum space to celebrate the history of the site. So it's the next step in the process of bringing a general contractor aboard to do the work.
Okay, thank you. There's approval to contract with Meteor Education under cooperative contract to redesign cafeteria redesign project for
Madam President, Board Member Hernandez, I'm not sure of the exact origin of Meteor Education, but they, along with the school specialty, have been the vendors on one GPA contract that have been carrying out all the cafeteria redesign projects that we're doing across the district. So Harris is the last school that we hadn't done an approval for yet.
And there is an approval to contract with Precise Signs and a cooperative contract. That's replacing the marquees that Frank Foreman, Justice Matone, Steve, straight up, and on. But I noticed that in about maybe 4 or 5 of the contracts, I see the term attorney approved. Which attorney? Who's our district attorney that's approving our current consent agenda items that are presented, that have been reviewed by an attorney?
Board President, Board Member Hernandez, are you referring to that specific item or the consent item in general?
I can list them there. It's item 10, item 11, which is the approval of Starlight Park College Preparatory Community School Day field trip. There is, it's just the term that appears on 4 of them.
Okay, well,
Attorney approved, and I just want to know who's the attorney.
absolutely, that does make sense. We've used different attorneys that we've been able to procure through the trust to review our contractual agreements. So that's what we've been doing in the meantime.
And so these, the ones that I've mentioned so far, and including item 11, which is the Starlight Park College Preparatory Community School Day field trip, it says attorney approved. So those items, am I choosing that? So there is an attorney from the actual trust, yes, not from another contract that we contracted out.
That is correct.
So, I mean, I guess the biggest reason to this is Emma is building a team of people that she has to work with. I mean, I don't know if there's another deeper answer to that.
And just for clarification, so you mean the interim assistant superintendent?
Yeah, there's these positions need to be filled. Emma, did you want to?
Good evening, Governing Board President, Governing Board members, executive team, and those in attendance. I don't know if anybody that's a teacher out there are they allowed to come up and speak to this? Or anybody from the union if they want to, because we've had this discussion in our meet and confer negotiations about contracts. Oh, I apologize. I thought you were asking why we were bringing contracts so early in the year.
Have we been doing this? We do this all the time, though.
We do this every year annually, but we tend to do them because it's for the following year. We do them in April.
No, but there's positions that we brought in the last board meeting, the meeting before that are people coming in. I mean, we just hired somebody in the last board meeting that you just gave all this praise for their resume, and they're coming in at the same time. So I don't understand what the question is. Yeah.
If the board so wish to do so, versus what we're doing right now, which is not very good.
Yeah, this is a lot.
But we can, did you want to kind of hear a little bit about why we want to bring the admin contracts in general, or? Yeah. Do you want to come up, please? Yeah, I think that's a valid question.
They won't be able to hear you online.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Why, hello. Hello. Great to see all of you again. How can I help? Do you have questions for me? I'd love to assist. Hey, I've been around the block. I'm happy to answer. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I do appreciate that question, and I do appreciate the acknowledgement and being allowed to come up. One of the conversations that we have had in Meet and Confer, but also with the executive team over the course of the year is, as a teacher, I truly want to know who I'm working with. And even though state law has changed that my contract in itself cannot come out until March 15th, I want to know who my administrator is, because I'm very biased to where I work, and I only want to work for Jeremy Chandler. So on public record, sir. So I actually appreciate the fact that these are being brought forth. I also appreciate the transparency in who the team is. And I think as a union rep, right, one of the things that the teachers are going through right now is we're experiencing change just as much as everybody else is. With Dr. Lawler going out and Miss Hodeggy coming in, ooh, that's going to be catchy. We want to know that we can be part of those conversations of who they're going to have sitting in those chairs across from us. And so I appreciate being part of those conversations because the entire executive team is very clear and they're very transparent with us. They're very communicative, and they ask us for our input. So I can understand the concern, if you will, about fiscal responsibility and being fiscally responsible, because I follow all the budgets constantly and I'm always trying to spend more money. But I do support this decision as a union person.
And just for clarification, these positions are district level.
Board Member Hernandez, your mic isn't on.
So I know.
That is correct.
Board
Yes,
Member,
that is
Board Member
correct.
Hernandez, your mic, so that online can hear you, please. Thank you.
Okay. Does that mean I have to reiterate what?
No, I just when you're speaking, just put it on.
asking for the same purpose. What was the urgency behind approving executive director level positions at district office? And I clarified that these are not teacher roles, but I greatly appreciate you being able to answer articulately. Thank you for that. So I understand.
Anytime.
And yeah. And Madam President, those are the questions that I have.
How do you
Thank
vote?
you. And with that, I vote nay.
All right. Board Member Garcia, how do you vote? We're on the consent agenda.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Board Member or Vice President Hernandez, how do
I
you
vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Sorry, I need to get back on my tracks here. Oh, thank you. Go ahead. You do that while I figure what I'm doing now.
President Abetia, members of the governing board, executive team, principals, those here in the audience, I would like to call a couple amazing administrators up to here because you're going to get your picture taken. First, Dee Dee Goslar Carr will be our new Executive Director of Special Services, who's starting this January because Patricia Lopez is leaving. So congratulations. And Jessica Larson, the Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Please come forward. Congratulations, ladies.
All right. Thank you. Board Member Hernandez, can you turn off your mic, please? All right. On to item J, action items. Item number 1, approval to suspend authority to governing board policy BGB policy adoption as it pertains to the first and second reading for the purpose of addressing item J.2 proposed new policy by Copper State regarding safe and inclusive school environments. Under the authority of the governing board policy GFB, suspension / renewal of policy, the operation or any section or sections of board policies not established and required by law or vested by contract may be temporarily or permanently suspended by the majority vote of the board members. An action under this policy would not require two presentations as indicated in policy BGB policy adoption. Policies may be adopted or amended at the single meeting of the board in a board declared emergency. This proposed new policy in item J2 comes at a crucial time as we work to ensure that every student and family feels secure and supported within our schools, especially in the light of recent legislative changes such as Arizona's Prop 314. An emergency situation exists. Implementing this policy will support and affirm our schools as safe, inclusive environments where every scholar feels valued, respected, and empowered to learn and grow to their full potential. So with that, I would like to make a motion for approval to suspend the authority of governing board policy BGB as it pertains to the first and second reading to address item J.2, proposed new policy by Copper State, safe and inclusive school environment. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion.
Thank you. I have a motion by myself and a second by Vice President Hernandez. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Madam President Abetia, question.
Yes.
Regarding the BGB policy adoption as it pertains to first and second reading for purpose of addressing them. So that means that by changing this policy, that we will no longer be required to read it once and then wait for the next school board meeting to
It's just
read it
for
again?
this policy. It's not for every policy coming forward. It's just for this policy that we are presenting tonight. And one of the biggest reasons why is because, as you're aware of how 314 works, is we have to go based off of Texas's ruling, and we don't know when that's going to be. It could be tomorrow. It could be before the next governing board meeting, and we want to ensure that we put some safety measures in place in the district.
So it's only for this one. I'm sorry.
It's only for this item. When we suspend it, we're only suspending it for that specific, for the next item. We're not suspending it for every future policy proposal that comes through the governing board. So it's just for this one.
Okay, because it was my understanding that any policy, depending on how it's written, that we're able as board majority be able to add it to an agenda and take a vote on it just on that, not allow. We don't have to allow for a second reading.
No, but the policy that we have in for the district requires us to do a second read. So this just suspends it so we can just do the first read for this policy.
Okay.
For instance, the next governing board meeting, whatever policies that come through to the board, you would still, if it's the first time, you're still going to do the first read. You still do the second read unless you decide to go with this suspension, essentially.
Okay, thank you for that. I don't have an issue with that. I question it only because of the Copper State, so the current policy as it is written is provided to us by ASBA.
What
the BGB policy that we're changing this for today?
Yes,
okay,
that,
making sure
for the first part of this. Yes, is presented by ASBA,
and I would hope that we moving forward, Copper State. Since it's being sued for copyright infringement by ASBA, I'm hesitant when I see that written as being supported or coming to us as a recommendation.
But this isn't this policy that is being presented tonight is not. It has nothing to do with ASBA. ASBA doesn't have any provided policy regarding Prop 314. This is something that Copper State has created on their own. So it's not a copyright of anything that ASBA has or anything like that. This is something that Copper State has done on their own.
Okay.
So for the first item on this action item,
I vote aye.
Thank you. Board Member Garcia, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Board Member Hernandez, or Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
I vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. On to item 2, information, discussion, and possible action regarding proposed new policy by Copper State, Safe and Inclusive School Environments, SISE policy. The proposed policy focuses on protecting students' rights, safety, and privacy, particularly related to immigration status, while ensuring compliance with Arizona state laws. The policy promotes a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment for all students and families by clearly outlining the roles and responsibilities of staff, safeguarding student information, and preventing discrimination based on national origin or immigration status. So I would like to make a motion for approval to adopt the proposed new policy by Copper State, Safe and Inclusive School Environments, SISE policy. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion.
Thank you. I have a motion by myself and a second by Vice President Hernandez. Board Member Hernandez, how do you vote?
Thank you. I'd like to explain my vote. I understand Copper State's recommendation, but I also know that we are able to propose, or in the past, we proposed our own language for policy changes so that we're strict and we're affirming to our community that we're not going to enforce any Prop 314 on our campuses. We've done so in the past, and I think I made a request for us to share that kind of letter a couple of meetings ago. Again, but since this is, I don't think it's explicit and it doesn't go too deep. It just mentions two different. I will support it for today. Thank you.
So that's an aye.
That's an aye.
Thank you, Board Member Garcia. How do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you, Vice President Hernandez. How do you vote?
I vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thank you. Yes, let's give a round of applause for that one, please. That is one heck of a bill. So, all right, on to item K, report summary of current events. Palm Lane Elementary video presented by Scott Nye. Or Dr. Lawler, do you have something? Okay, sorry.
Person, right? All right. Good evening, President Abetia, members of our governing board, Dr. Aguilar Lawler, executive team, those in the audience here. We have a 30-minute video to show you, just kidding, it's 3 minutes, to show you what our yearly Disney production is going to be this year. So as you see, we will be sure to send invitations to everybody. The productions will take place in April. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
Thank you. I actually have a question. Who does your video? How are you guys doing that?
It is one of the drama club teachers. She's the production manager. She's currently one of our kindergarten teachers.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's amazing work. I saw my daughter back there all suspenseful, and she's like, which TV do I look at? That is really exciting. Actually, my first year at band camp, everybody is required to be in choir. Not my favorite part of camp, but that was our first song, was doing Aladdin, and so that definitely touched me there for a second. I was like, oh wow. Except we didn't act it out, so that'll be interesting to come back and see how they act out those roles. So
come back and play is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, do you want to
definitely not doing that. I'll sing in the background where no one can hear me. All right. Any questions or comments from the board? Go ahead.
I just want you to know how filled with gratitude I am. I'm talking about me because I like going to the performances. They're awesome. Those children are so talented with great leadership, creating the scenes and being supportive. So I can hardly wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. On to, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Board President, members of the Governing Board, Executive Leadership Team, principals, and those in the audience. I do have some announcements and celebrations. First celebrations, Fiesta Bowl Charities has selected 19 Cartwright School teachers to be this year's recipients for Wishes for Teachers program. The Wishes for Teachers program is facilitated through DonorsChoose.org, and teachers will receive $2,500 to their classrooms. Thank you, Fiesta Bowl, and congratulations to Katie Bross and Amanda Geraldo at Pena Elementary, Christy Brown and Jolene Vincent, Cartwright, Jane Dastrup and Alicia McArthur, C.W. Harris, Jadini Davis, Lori Richards, and Jennifer Sotero at Estrella, Elizabeth Duhon at Sunset, Adriana Esquire at Starlight Park, Jessica Guzman at Tomahawk, Jessica Gaddis at Davidson, Carrie Kersey at Castro, Terry Martin at Desert Sands, Adrian Osborne at Spitani, Michelle Saldana, Holiday Park, and Juliana Valente at Heatherbrae. Congratulations. Those grants take a lot of work and time, and congratulations to administrators in the audience. Congratulations to Pena 5th grade teacher Alex Reninsky for being an SRP Touchdown for Teachers Grant and Game Experience winner. She will be honored on the field before the Cardinals versus Seahawks game on Sunday. Congratulations. Also, great news, our Special Services Department worked with the Arizona Department of Education for the AD audit and passed with positive feedback, including that they've seen an impact in our corrective action work from last year. A special thanks to Dee Dee and the Special Services team. I want to wish everyone a beautiful holiday season and hope you get to spend a peaceful time with your family and friends. Thank you. That concludes my update.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. On to item L, other information and discussion items, art and academic displays. And I'm actually going to pass it over to Vice President Hernandez because she loves this. And since this is the last time we're doing this, I'm going to give that one to you.
Thank you, Madam President. All right, so Cartwright School District Office Academic Displays, November 2024. The first project that we have is the solar system, which is grade level 5 at G. Frank Davidson with Principal Michael Clark. The teacher is Mr. McLaury, and the art is just behind you. I don't know. It's on this side. I don't have the brain power to determine if it's left or right. As part of our science learning objective is focused on constructing explanations about the movement of the Earth and Moon within our solar system, scholars were assigned the task of researching the various entities that make up our solar system. The assignment challenged scholars to research and provide factual information about each entity. Scholars were introduced to AI technology for information gathering. Scholars were also allowed to show their creativity by making the sun and each planet show varying details utilizing construction paper. In addition to writing fact sheets, scholars were able to create voice recordings that describe their planets. Oh, yeah, that one would be really cool. So anyone who hasn't had an opportunity after the board meeting, go up and touch one of the voice recordings so we can hear all about the galaxy. That is absolutely wonderful. I'm all, yay, good job. That adds an extra layer of fun to it. Yeah. Yay. This is one of my favorite things, and I'll definitely miss everybody, especially the art. All right. So we also have art teacher John Purcell. The title is Jacob Lawrence Inspired Colleges, grades 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this one is just to the back over here. If you were to turn around, it's kind of on your right side. All right, so this is from Tomahawk Elementary with Principal Diane Corley. This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th scholars started the school year learning about Jacob Lawrence and his art. Jacob Lawrence and his art was the inspiration for both the first art projects and a school mural. 3rd and 4th grade scholars looked at Jacob Lawrence's cityscapes of Harlem. Harlem was where Mr. Lawrence lived at the time. Scholars compared Harlem to their own neighborhood. Scholars then created a collage of a home in their neighborhood. Scholars finished their collage with colored pencils. 5th and 6th grade scholars looked and talked about Jacob Lawrence's historical paintings. Scholars learned how Jacob Lawrence was able to tell stories using shape and color. Scholars then created their own collages of a scholar being safe, responsible, and respectful on their way to school. 5th and 6th finished their collages with colored pencils. Wonderful display. Thank you. All right. Our next art display is a 2D display, which is over here to my right, to your left of the governing board room. The art teacher is Carmen Bradford. The title of the projects are Kandinsky circles, color mixing balloons, name color wheels, and expressive word art. Grade level 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th from G. Frank Davidson Elementary with Principal Michael Clark. Kandinsky circles. 2nd graders looked at abstract work by artist Wassily Kandinsky and then reviewed how to make secondary colors from the primary colors. Color mixing balloons. 3rd graders reviewed primary and secondary colors and used watercolors and overlapping to create tertiary colors. Name color wheels. 4th graders reviewed the colors wheel and learned about complementary colors. They learned how to write their name in bubble letters to create space to add all the colors and complementary colors in the correct spaces. Expressive word art. 5th and 6th grade learned about mood and how to use certain colors and types of lines in their artwork to express the meaning of a word of their choice. Absolutely wonderful display. Each display is beautifully colored, very vibrant, and definitely an honor. Thank you. Our next art, we're still going. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Our next art display, because we got a lot of them this month. This one is outside of the governing board room. So as you're walking in the glass case to the right or left, if you're walking out, is all of the art that I'll explain now. And it's a 3D display. So art teacher Lucretia Romano, the title of the projects are Optical Illusions, Line Lanterns, Multifaceted. These are 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders at Sunset Elementary School with Mr. Jeremy Chandler as the principal. Optical Illusions. 4th and 5th grade scholars created 2 pages of patterns, one rainbow colored and the other black and white. They cut the patterns into 12 slices, 6 from each, and glued them alternately. When folded in an accordion style, the viewer can see either the rainbow or black and white pattern depending on the angle. The project focuses on contrasting patterns and colors. Line lanterns. Third grade scholars studied different types of lines and applied them in various angles and arrangements on large sheets of white paper. They then used paint sticks to bring their designs to life. Once the paint dried, the lanterns were stapled together and attached with yarn. The project focuses on lines and color. Multifaceted. Fifth grade scholars identified 5 personality traits that represent them. They expressed those traits through 5 designs on printout squares attached to milk cartons. The project aims to promote individual diversity and self-expression through art. Absolutely beautiful art projects out there. These ones are hard to not see as you're walking through the governing board, into the governing board room, because they are absolutely beautiful, very vibrant, of course, and in the glass cases. So thank you. It's quite an honor to have been able to read these all of these years. And congratulations to the schools and the scholars. Thank you.
You do such a better job at that than I do. So, all right, on to item 2. On to item 2, update governing board request presented by Ms. Howdy.
Good evening, governing board president, governing board members, executive team, and those here in attendance. Yes, thank you for giving me an opportunity to provide an update on the governing board request. I just wanted to let the governing board members and the new ones that are joining our team that we are working on a board retreat that will be a day and a half. And during this meeting, this time together, we are going to be looking at planning for a strategic plan for 5 years. 3 to 5 years, a roadmap for that from our governing board. We want to hear our governing board's ideas and thoughts. We're also going to tackle vision, mission for our board goals for our new team. And we are also going to be reviewing our organizational chart for next year. And we are really looking forward to this retreat. We're very optimistic that we are going to have a wonderful, productive day and a half. And I was going to present the dates at the January 16th meeting, but I am actually going to be reaching out to each of the governing board members next week to provide you some dates, because the hope would be that we could get together before the first board meeting. And if that is not possible, then we will get together after the first board meeting. And that is my update on the governing board request. Thank you. Oh, I have the organizational chart. So we went ahead and attached the current district and governing board goals and mission and vision. And we also attached just the top leadership organizational chart. But I just want to be transparent that those things will probably be changing as we begin to work for next year. So if you want to go ahead and take a moment to look at the organizational chart, but that will be changing for 25-26. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Go ahead. Madam President, Emma Harigi. I did not know. I'm glad I'm looking at because I've been mentioning the musical chairs that I've had an issue with, but I see that Dr. Etheridge actually has more than what I thought he was doing. So he's doing payroll, purchasing information. So I knew that part, but he's doing IT as well. I was not aware of that. In addition to that, enrollment and student records. Wow. It's a lot. It's a heavy plate, but I wasn't aware. So thank you for that.
I did forget to mention something. Hold on a minute. Oh, it just escaped me. I'm sorry. I apologize. Do you have any questions about the day and a half with the new team?
No, but thank you for bringing it up. I would like to recommend that the Arizona School Board Association provide that orientation. They've done a great job in the past. I don't know who's heading that up now. Hey, sorry.
I will. We are going to also be doing some parliamentary procedures. But for next week, I do want to present to you, the team that is here, the ones that are returning next year, a draft agenda for that day and a half. And then in addition to that, obviously, we want to do some training for the parliamentary procedures and onboarding. So thank you.
Was there any other questions or anything? Board Member Garcia, anything? All right. Well, thank you for that update. On to item 3, update special governing board meeting on December 17, 2024. A special governing board, sorry, hold on, let me try one more time. A special governing board meeting has been called on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Yes, sorry. Any questions or concerns with the date? No? Pretty much, yeah. All right, on to item 4, update us reception at the January 16, 2025 governing board meeting presented by Dr. Aguilar Lawler.
Thank you, Board President, members of the governing board. Please mark your calendars. We're going to have a welcome reception from 4:30 to 5 prior to the January 16th 2025 governing board meeting for all the newly elected incoming governing board members. So again, please mark your calendar for 4:30 on January 16th, 2025. And that's number 4.
Awesome. Any questions or anything? Nope. All right. On to item 5. Yes, 5. Sorry, there's a lot of updates. I'm getting lost here. Reception for governing board members. Dr. Aguilar Lawler.
Thank you, President Abetia, members of the governing board, executive team, principals, and those in the audience. Following this meeting will be pretty quickly. We are going to have a reception for 2 governing board members who will no longer be here in January, President Ana Abetia and Vice President Marisa Hernandez. And there are no words to express my gratitude to their leadership and dedication to our school district. As you know, they have a lot of passion, and they do it all because they love our kids and they love our community. So I hope that you can stay afterwards and we can roast them, we can share with them, and just really, really happy to be able to be here with them as we say goodbye. And I'm certainly going to miss them. I also want to take this moment, my final board meeting, to express my deepest gratitude to the Cartwright Governing Board, my amazing executive team, Christine and Linda, all our school principals and assistant principals, our parents, and specifically our Parent Advisory Council, our Cartwright Association, specifically our CEA leadership, all of our incredible educational support professionals, all of you, and there are many, district administrators, our most inspiring teachers, and the most beautiful, wonderful, smartest scholars that we all serve. It has been an honor of a lifetime serving as your superintendent. We have been through so much together, and not joking, a world pandemic. Thank goodness that is behind us, and the sky is the limit. But even though it's not a pandemic that's upon us, public education has become a huge pressure for those of us who have dedicated everything to provide the best educational opportunities in our schools and our school district. There is still so much to do. I commend the governing board for choosing Emma Haudegi to be the next superintendent. Emma is relentless. She will do everything in her power to positively impact the future of our school district and the children we serve. I look forward to this transition, and I will be there to support you and the district. Congratulations, Emma. As for me, I look forward to my next chapter in my life. Get to go to Tucson and be with my parents. Live full time again with my amazing husband of over 30 years, Ken.
my beautiful daughter, Gabriela, and my son, Maximo. I'm going to become a full-time mom finally. I will keep in touch, and I will always be grateful for all of you. Thank you.
Vice President Hernandez. And I gotta bring it back.
All right, I'm gonna not cry about it. Good evening, everyone. Whew. So I've been here with all of you amazing people for about 10 years. It's a decade. That's a long time. And it has been such an honor to serve on this board. And it was a huge decision whether or not to rerun for election. And the only reason that I didn't run for re-election, besides, getting a little tired, was because I absolutely adore Cartwright and our kids and our community and everything that Cartwright stands for. Working alongside Dr. Aguilar Lawler, all of you great professionals, our executive teams, our president, our governing board, who has made me a better person, all of you. Being able to go on field trips and be a chaperone and be trusted with our kiddos in the community, and what an honor. Thank you.
All right. Guess that's my turn, right? What is the rule? We don't ugly cry. Marissa's breaking the rule. I almost don't have words. I love this district. I don't think people really understand how much I love this district. To me, it's more than just sitting on this dais and being able to make decisions. I have real legacy here in this community. I have many aunts and uncles, my parents, or my mom, not my dad. He was an Isaac kid, but that sucks. But me and my mom and my sister, we all had the same kindergarten teacher, Miss Samplin, over at Spitali. Yep. I have a lot of love for the kids in this district. For the staff, oh my God, y'all are like, I said from day one, don't pull out that red carpet for me. I am not that person, and y'all don't listen, but it is nice. It is nice to know that that's how much y'all care about making sure that we care about this community. When I first met my partner, we actually moved out to like Sunny Slope area. We didn't last very long over there because I was like, nah, I gotta go back to my hood. It's not the same. And I have the privilege now to live across the same busy street that I lived on when I was here in the district as a kid. With the exception of 1 year of my life, I've lived here all my entire life. And you'll never see me leave. I will still always be here. But I really, really want to thank this community not for just for giving me the honor of representing you all, but for raising me. Don't ugly cry. Don't ugly cry. I really, truly believe that Maryville runs deep in my blood. Cartwright runs deep in my blood. So does Dodgers. And I seen that cup over there. But when I mean something, when I stand for something, I truly, truly mean it. Like, to be part of this community, that's what it is. And I said this last night. A friend of mine tells me all the time, he's like, girl, you're 10 toes down. And that is so true when you come from a community like this. There's nothing like growing up here in Maryville. I'm constantly out and about doing events and meeting people and getting out of my comfort zone as somebody who is politically engaged the way that I am, and I run into at least one person once a week that says that they went to school here in this district. So it's very prideful to be able to walk around, and not just as a board member, but to be like, that's right, Cartwright baby, right? Those of us who understand it, but I am extremely honored to have served in this position. I am even more proud so to take on a leadership position down at the legislature and really represent my community in a more impactful way, to help this district, because every single decision that I make down at the legislature is going to be in the best interest of this school district first. So I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for being so supportive. And just being the community that's been here my entire life. And I'm just really excited to be on another journey with you all, even though it's not going to be here all the time on this side. But now I get to sit in the audience with y'all, which will be fun. So, but thank you, everyone. And I really appreciate all of the love and support that y'all have passed along over the last 4 years. So thank you. I know, so much ugly crying. I think I did better than the Vice President Hernandez, but all right.
Can I say one last thing? Because I cried.
Go ahead.
Sorry, everybody. I didn't finish what I was going to say because I started crying like a baby. Mine was the ugly cry. Hers was the pretty cry. Just want to clarify that. The only reason that I did not run for re-election, because I love every single one of you, and I've cried about this numerous times over the last 6 months to a year, is that I'm getting married. And I will be moving. Thank you. I will only leave you for love. That's it. Only for love. But I have so much that I'm taking with me from all of you. And I mean, I'll still be around, of course. And this has been the absolute greatest opportunity I've ever had in my life. And while we don't get paid for this, it has made me so rich, beyond measure. It's beyond measure. But that is the only reason that I am leaving. It's very bittersweet. I will miss being a part of all of this, but I absolutely love and adore each and every one of you. So I just wanted to let you know I wasn't leaving you for any other reason. Otherwise, I would still be here, and it's very hard. You all just keep doing absolutely amazing, rocking it, helping our kiddos. We see it every day. We see it in the videos, as you know, we've been privy to all of the information. And just tonight with the young man that stayed and helped to provide support for another person who was hit, one of our scholars, that's because of all of you. All of you. We're very small in my mind. Sorry, everyone. I know that the board members we're all very important. But in my mind, like for my participation, it's a very small piece of what's truly happening here. But I also understand the power that we do hold and why it's so important to have great board members who listen and who are involved and engaged in the process. So I leave you with that. I absolutely love and adore you. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and I'll be around. Thank you for everything and for helping me raise my baby. my babies, the 3 of them. Thank you. That's it.
For the record, board member Lydia Hernandez had left the board meeting at 7:57. On to item 6, request for future agenda items as information discussion at a future governing board meeting. Do we have any requests? No? All right. On to item M, announcements of future meeting dates and other routine information concerning the governing board. The next regular governing board meeting will be held on Thursday, January 6th, 2025 at 5 p.m. at the Cartwright School District Boardroom. A special governing board meeting will be held on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 at 5 p.m. at the Cartwright School District Governing Boardroom.
President Abetia, on the agenda, the date's written wrong, so I want to make sure that it's the correct date.
For what exactly?
Christine and Linda, on one, it says Thursday, excuse me, it says
Tuesday?
Is it Tuesday, December 17th? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. On to item N, adjournment. I would like to make a motion to adjourn the December 25, 2024 governing board meeting. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I second that motion. Thank you.
I have a motion by myself and a second by Vice President Hernandez. Board Member Garcia, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Thank you. Vice President Hernandez, how do you vote?
I vote aye, Madam President.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. It is 8 o'clock, and we are out of here for a party. Yay. Well, that's my kind of party. So. You have food, then I'll be there.
Ms. Abetia. After.